Hey guys, Marmalade here for Q&A number 16. That means 4 months doing this. It's pretty amazing so far, and I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have learned some things too. So let's get right to it with our questions for this week. Q&A number 16. So our first question is from Mark Williams. He asked me, what will you use to prevent mosquitoes from being a bother on the trail? So mosquitoes love me. So what I use is, I'm going to put a picture right here. I use Ben's 100% DEET, and I get it at REI, but I think you can get it anywhere or get it online. I think you can use any brand. I just bought it and it works for me. Now, some people don't like it or think it's dangerous, but the mosquitoes literally are ravenous for a couple months on trail, and the other way you can combat that is when we get to camp at night, which I hated doing because in the summer it's warm. You can put your rain gear on. They can't sting you or bite you through that, and you can wear a head net. Or like I did, I just ended up being in my tent a lot at night in the afternoon when I could be outside enjoying the beauty. I had to be stuck because of the mosquitoes. So the 100% DEET works, and it works, and I'll put it on. It'll last at least half the day. I also, for the Northern Terminus, I bought some spray from the store, some permethrin. I think that's how you say it. And you can wash your clothes in it, but you can buy clothes that already have it in it. I bought the spray and laid out my hiking clothes, and I sprayed and sprayed to the point where they were really drenched. They felt wet, and honestly, they stung me right through my clothes. So it didn't really work. I thought it would, it didn't. So anyway, that's what I use, is the Ben's 100% DEET, and it worked. So my next question is from Eric Rogoff. He said, I tried a few water bottle holders and none worked. What kind do you use? So I'm going to try to put a couple pictures or video clips of what I have right here. So I love mine, and what I love about it is a couple things. It worked on trail for me. It's still going strong on my pack. Also, the person who does this is named Justin Anderson. You can find him on Facebook, but he is a small business owner and is a backpacker and hiker. And Justin, if you see this, hey, thank you for mine. And he understands what hikers need. It's a small, like I said, small business. He sells them on Etsy, so go check him out on Etsy, E-T-S-Y, Etsy, and you can find him if you search him on there for Justin's UL. So Justin's with an S at the end, Justin's UL for ultralight. And they come and go. I just looked right now and they're on there, but he hand makes everything. He doesn't trust anybody else to make them. He wants them to be right. So he hand makes them, and so when he gets 200 or 300 of them or whatever, he puts them on the site and they sell it instantly. And then if he doesn't show up, it's because they're out of them temporarily, so you just keep checking back. But he makes the water bottle holder, which I love, and then he makes a pouch, which is going to originally be for my cell phone. But mine kind of fit too snugly, and I use it to film things. It was hard to get out when I wanted to do something really quickly, so I ended up just keeping it in my shorts pocket. But I keep other things in there, snacks, and I also keep my chapstick, and so I use that for that. So they're both really good. The water bottle holder is $14 right now on Etsy, and the pouch for the cell phone and other things is $15. So very reasonable, very light. And the last thing I'll say is I learned how to wash my pack on trail. Washed it twice. And I just left the holders on there. I was going to take them off and protect them, but I just left them on there, and they're very tough, and they still look 100%, so I would wash them with my pack. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. So my next question is from Dave and Christy. Dave, I got one of your questions in here, and yes, it's a Terry Savini free week. You'll be glad to know that. Anyway, here's this question for Dave and Christy. Can you go over stats for the light hard gear So Long 6 tent I use occasionally? Yeah, so I'm gonna search in my phone and in my I have iCloud where I keep all my pictures and videos, and try to find some pictures to put right here.
This one, firstly, this is the So Long 6. This is great. The reason I think it's called 6 is for people that are over 6 feet. It's by a company called Light Heart Gear. Single wall tent. This actually has really great breathability. I actually also did a setup video on my own site as well. So you got this awning capability here, which is really nice. tall foot box at both ends, so again it minimizes the amount of touch points on your actual sleeping system, and especially people worried about condensation with single wall tents, not really had an issue with this. Take a little light towel, and if it is condensation inside, just wipe it down. But great tent, and it's around about 2.5 pounds in weight, maybe actually 2 pounds and then steak, so it's under 2.5 pounds. What are you prepared to be comfortable? Now, every trip, every weekend, every long section is from the story, and I'll start with a very quick one, and that is a couple of months ago, Gary, we were up in San Jacinto, we were in Apache Peak, 65-mile-an-hour winds, basically hail sideways. Several of us had to duplex and actually bad night, but no sleep actually. So even with rocks this big on top of the stakes.
But I got this tent about 2 years ago. I did not bring it on my thru hike, but I took it on. If you watched my 3-day series, I went up to the Sierras this last September and used it, and some of the pictures may be from that trip. But yeah, originally I got it from my buddy Hammer, thank you. And it's an interesting tent. So it's by Lightheart Gear is the name of the company, so go check them out. Also a small business. It's a woman-owned business, and this tent is very unusual because there's all different shapes and sizes. I'm 6'3", which is not freakishly tall, but tall. And believe it or not, in the standard 1- and 2-man tents, I barely fit in them, and my head and feet are touching. So the So Long 6 is made for taller people. And so let's go over the stats. But actually, I want to show you. I brought mine with me now. They make different colors. They have 3 different colors. I have the camouflage one, so this is it right here. So let's go over the stats real quick for it, okay? But there it is. So I just went to the site and checked it out to get the stats and also the price. This tent is $298 as it is. You can add things on it to make it more. It comes in pewter, cranberry, and a blue color, and also the camouflage. For that specific tent, it's optional, but I had them, they have a pre-cut footprint for me, and it was made of Tyvek, so I ordered that. So that's $15, so very reasonable. I ordered that after the fact because it's an unusual shape, so I wanted the Tyvek to be exactly right, so I had them do it. And before I get any more of the stats, it says here on their site, designed for the big and tall. The So Long 6 is so long that hikers even over 6'8" will fit comfortably. There is so much room in this tent that 2 regular-sized people can share it. So what's unusual about this tent is the shape of it. It's kind of a coffin shape, like I said. It's 30 inches wide at the head and the foot, and it goes out in the middle by 55 inches in the width. It's also 45 inches high, so a lot of headroom, which is important for me because being tall, when I sit up and change clothes, most tents I hit the roof and sometimes get condensation on me. What I like about it being wide in the middle is when you're using it as an individual hiker, when I'm in there, all my stuff, I generally put a few things above my head and feet, but it's mostly in the middle where I have put things that I want to grab during the night and things I need to reach. So I like that the most room is right where it's usable and where I would put things and grab things. So it's a 3-season, 1-person tent. They call it a 1-person tent, even though technically maybe 2 regular to smaller people can fit in it. The weight is 2 pounds and has 30 square feet of room, including the vestibules. Oh, and let me go over the size again. I failed to tell you one thing. Yes, it's 30 inches wide on the head and the feet. It's 55 inches wide in the middle, so I said coffin shape, but it's also 100 inches long. So I'm 6'3", which is 75 inches, so even though I'm tall, I still have 25 inches room. One of the things that I'm not super fond of is when I'm on the air mattress, it raises me up, so when I'm near the head of it, my face is very close, if not touching the head wall of the tent. So I try to scooch into the center of that 100 inches so that my feet and my head are not touching. I don't get condensation on me. But that's the beauty of the tent. You have a ton of room, and then I put my pack by my feet, and I put water up by my head and things like that. So anyway, that's the measurements. Oh, and 45 inches high for my headroom too. So very tall in the headroom, like I said before. So it's still nylon. It's silicone treated on both sides. It's 30D ripstop nylon. Holy smokes, it's getting windy here. Holy smokes. Hope you can hear me okay. It has 2 large side entry zippered doors. They're double zippered. It has 2 closable ridge vents and also 1 inside big pocket for your stuff. It has an awning fly with zipper on the front and a regular awning with zipper on the back. It also has an 8-inch bathtub going around the edge meets up to the netting. It has 4 line lock cords around each 4 corners for proper tension. It also includes the ridge pole, which is a very small piece of PVC pipe. This goes into the ceiling or the roof of the tent. And if you can picture your trekking poles upside down, so the sharp point goes in here, and then the grip end goes down there, and you extend your pole on both sides, and it goes out at an angle, and that's where you get the 55 wide. It's very wide in the middle. So this is your ridge pole, very light, doesn't take up much space, and then like I said, your poles go here, extend them, lock them, and that's how you keep the tent up. So besides the ridge pole, you get a matching stuff sack, and you get reflective tie-outs, which are the cords that tie out your tent. So what's great about this is it's not a freestanding tent. That's why it's light too. You don't have any poles. You just have, I have the stakes in a small bag in here. I have the ridge pole, and I just have the tent. It's 2 pounds. The other option you do have is a carbon fiber awning pole, and I do have it. It's an extra $30. It's not necessary, but I use it a lot actually. And when I can find it for you, let's see if we can get it in here. Here it is. So it's very light. I think it weighs like 2 ounces, 3 ounces. It's like this. Pulls out. This is where on your front door of your tent you can have an awning. And so instead of your awning going down to the ground, you can have it up here. And when you're in the tent, you can see the view and everything. I even keep it up at night. If it's going to rain or it's going to be really cold, I do lower it down to the ground for weather and to keep the warmth in my tent. But that's really great. It's super collapsible. That's an option. That's an extra $30 on their site. So I hope you enjoyed that. It just shows you another small cottage company that makes great tents. I like the lady. I've emailed her and texted her a few times, and I really like the product, and I've been using it. I have not used it in heavy rain, but I understand it does really well in the rain too. So it's my kind of extra tent that I use sometimes. So it's good to see other brands besides the big name brands you always see at REI, places like that, that are available to you and that are ultralight and very well made. Okay, my last question is from Bobby Gator. Of the first 700 miles to Kennedy Meadows, going northbound from the Mexican border, what are the 3 hardest sections to hike in your opinion? So this is a tough one because a lot of it blended in. I'm going to kind of generalize here. I can tell you one for sure. Wow, it's getting really windy now. I know for sure at mile marker 151, this was very hard for me, and I've done it twice. Whereas Paradise Valley Cafe, if you ever watched people through hikes or mine, it's where the Paradise Valley Cafe, it's noted as the best hamburger on the whole trail. But when you leave there, you hitch about a mile, and it's 151 to about 170 something. It's 78, I forget. It's like 25 miles, I'm just guessing. And it feels like you're climbing 30,000 feet by the time you get up to you eventually on this pass right above Idlewild. And then you have to hike 2.5, 3 miles down. Like I went down Devil's Slide down into town. So and it doesn't count as trail miles just to get there. And then when you come, you have to do that 2.5 miles up to get back on trail. But this year, because of the snow, and we went through this new area, Apache Junction or Apache Creek, that was full of snow and very dangerous. I'm going to try to put a couple pictures of my that section right here. Ooh-wee. But anyway, it is just relentless uphill all the time. And then you have some downhills, and so, but it's just unusually steep, unusually rough, and I don't know why, because I did probably steeper and bigger sections in Washington, but it's just relentless. So it's like 20 something miles, and it's slow. You can't do the 20 miles. I mean, some people can, I guess, but it's just so, the trail is rough and rocky, and the views are incredible, but that was very tough for me. To answer your question, I couldn't give you, without research in depth, I couldn't give you my other 2 toughest places, but I will tell you, it's weird. It's like when you're getting near the end of the desert section that's 702 miles and getting close to Kennedy Meadows, it gets hard. The last 50 to 75 miles is really hard. It's kind of like the trail. We were joking, it's like the trail, you think you got it made, and then the trail just throws a little bit at you right at the very end, just to go, man, don't forget about us, the desert. It was tough. And the desert has, bigger mountains in Washington. So anyway, so I would say the last 50 to 75 miles are very difficult too. So Okay, guys, that about does it for this week. Love those questions. I hope you enjoyed it. Please send me more questions. I love the questions. So anything you want to know about anything, the physical, mental, gear, anything you want to know, I love your questions. There are no dumb questions, so please bring them on. And one thing I wanted to debut right now that I've been waiting to do, and as you guys know, I have a Patreon account that they get content before I bring it onto my YouTube channel. And I had a marmalade logo designed. I'm very stoked about it. I love it. My thought when I had it done was to keep it clean and simple. Also, I wanted to represent outdoors and not just backpacking, because I have future plans for possibly van life. A lot more hikes. I want to hopefully triple crown, things like that. So I have a lot of plans and a lot of other trails and a lot of outdoor things that don't necessarily have to always do with backpacking. So I just wanted a logo, and I think that this logo, and let's put it up right here. I think that represented. I love it. I love the colors. I love that it's clean and simple. I love your feedback. Let me know what you think. I realize that not everybody's going to love it, that we all have different tastes, but the main thing is I love it, and I think it represents exactly how I wanted it to come out. So I'm really happy about it, but let me know what you think. And also, a little teaser, I am in the process and almost done with a site that's also going to help raise money for my hiking and my adventures. Would you buy merch with that on it? Would you buy shirts and hats and things like that? In the process, I'm almost done with it, working on creating one that I'll eventually be promoting out here. Would you buy merch with that on there, with that logo on there? Do you like it enough? And so I want your feedback, so let me know. And again, thank you for watching so much. Remember, you can go to patreon.com and support me there. Look for Mike Marmalade Lawrence there. Just make sure you subscribe and like here, share. If you're on Facebook, share the video. And just, again, thank you for watching and all the positivity and your support. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, see you down the trail.